Welcome to a special feature about senior Gabe Anderson, who owns a 2018 Honda Grom. Welcome, Gabe.
Hi.
So tell me a little bit about your bike.
This is a 2018 Honda Grom that I got probably about 5 or 6 months ago now. I really got into it about a year or two ago. Motorcycles were really just something I saw online, and I thought they looked really cool. And I have a friend who owned one, and he let me ride it around his kind of like neighborhood and in a parking lot like we're in now. I fell in love that first time I rode it, and ever since then I really wanted one. So finally, when I was able to save up enough money, got this one.
Yeah, and when you originally bought it, did you go by yourself, or did you have your parents come with you?
I did go by myself.
Oh, yeah.
So I bought it off Facebook Marketplace from another guy my age. He was getting rid of his to upgrade, actually, like I wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just drove my car over to his house, paid him, and then I drove my car back, and then he just followed me on the bike, and we left it in my driveway. It was a pretty easy transaction.
Going from like wanting the bike and then having it, was that really exciting?
It was so fun. The first week was just like pure bliss. Like every time you were able to get on it, so excited. It was like Christmas morning. Every morning was like Christmas morning when you were able to get on it. Just when you've been wanting something for so long and then you're finally able to get it and use it all the time, it really is really. Now, yeah, walking past the house, front window, you just see it sitting there. Always puts a smile on my face.
So what was the learning curve like for the bike? Because obviously it's really different to go from even a bicycle to a motorcycle. So
yeah, it's really not honestly too crazy. The hardest things to learn are more like how much you should lean into turns, counter steering is, when you're shifting gears. If you let go of the throttle too soon, it just like kind of stalls and the engine shuts off. And so if you're in the middle of a highway and you stall out, you're kind of screwed. So those are the main 3 things you need to learn: is turning, counter steering, and how to not stall.
Would you say this is like kind of a smaller bike?
Yeah, definitely.
So was that something you looked for?
Originally, it wasn't something I really wanted. I wanted to get a bigger bike to start out, and I still really want to get a bigger bike. Just don't have the money right now. It's a really good starter bike to just learn the basics of how to ride. It goes fast enough to ride, wherever you need to without going any crazy speeds, which also made my parents a lot more okay with it. So that's a plus. It's a fun, just kind of all-around bike. It can go off-road, on-road. You can learn tricks on it. So it's just a really good starter.
Are you looking to get like a bigger bike eventually?
Yeah, for sure. Currently, this is a 125cc motorcycle, and I'm saving up for a 500cc motorcycle. Usually, like Facebook Marketplace is the best way you're going to find a good deal. They range from 4,500 to like 5,500, so just kind of got to save up, and then I'll probably end up selling this one so I can, get the money towards that. Hopefully by the end of this school year, for sure, I'll have a bigger bike.
So after you bought it, what was the first time you rode it? Well, like, what was that like?
I was definitely very nervous. Like I said, I had a little bit of experience from riding my friends, so I knew the basics. I definitely stalled a few times learning how to shift. Every bike is normally a little bit different on how much you have to release the clutch. All around, probably took me about a week to get pretty comfortable with it, just riding around my neighborhood and such, and then slowly graduating up.
What would you say your most interesting experience on the bike has been so far?
One time I took this on the highway, which was not a great idea because it maxes out at like 65 miles an hour, which, the speed limit was 60, so I was able to keep up with the cars, but there was definitely some big trucks that were speeding right by me, so that was definitely a nerve-wracking situation. It's definitely fun, but I was not on there for long. I got off pretty quickly on the next exit.
And have you let any of your friends ride it?
Yeah, so actually recently I had a friend, he really wants to get a bike, and I let him ride it, and he actually dropped it recently. Ooh. So I had to replace this throttle the other week, the throttle tube and the grip, but nothing too serious. So I've let about 2 or 3 people ride it, and so far that's been the only issue, so I'm not too worried, but yeah.
How different is it than just, driving a car around? Like, is it a different experience?
Oh, for sure. To me, it's so much more fun. You're so much more, like, free.
I assume the parking is a lot easier on this, too, right?
Yeah. I pretty much have infinite parking at the East Lot right now.
The bike is not very big. It's about yay high and yay wide. So,
yeah.
It's really easy to park.
It's not huge, so it can park pretty much anywhere.
Going from, like, driving a car to a motorcycle, would you rather drive a motorcycle every day?
Yeah, 100%. I find it a lot more fun. It definitely gets your adrenaline pumping, which is something that I've always enjoyed. So I always prefer it. Unfortunately, with the winter season coming up, it's not going to be the best mode of transportation. Like this morning, it was freezing, so I wasn't able to take it. But in the afternoon, when it's heating up, it's very nice.
So you got this really cool helmet here. Could you tell me a little bit about this? Because you've got a really cool design on here.
So the helmet was actually the first part I got. I bought the helmet before I even bought the bike. It's a Sidisi Strata 3 with a, I guess you could say, like, what are those, like sunglass kind of?
Like a visor.
Yeah, like sunglass visor. It also has an extra pair of sunglasses built into it.
Oh, that's really cool.
So those are helpful. This right here, there's a bunch of different brands of these. This is called a Ride King. But they have Cardos, Sennas. But they're basically just intercoms for your helmet.
Oh, so it's like a radio?
Yeah, so you can listen to music. And then under here, there's a microphone. So you can make calls, you can listen to music, just whatever you need. And it's just really helpful. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Awesome.
It look cool while you're on it too. It's like,
thank you.
is that a dragon or?
I honestly don't know. I just like the design, and I didn't really want to get, like, I have two. So I have another all black one that I got somewhat recently. But originally I didn't want to get an all black one just because of visibility. I wanted to be able to seen by cars and things, because when you are on a bike, it is a lot more dangerous. You do have the risk of cars not seeing you and pulling into your lanes, cutting you off, things like that. So having a brighter kind of just more colorful helmet, white bike, it's just safer.
Once you do eventually upgrade to a new bike, what do you think will happen to this one?
This one's probably going to go bye-bye. I will probably sell this one for sure. Probably the same way as I bought it, Facebook Marketplace. I've definitely put quite a few more miles on it, about 2,000 more than I bought it with, but I bet I'd still be able to, as it is, still fairly new, 6 years, I bet I'd still be able to get 2,800, something like that for it, so.
Yeah, and that'll help fund your new bike once you get one.
Exactly, yes, that is the goal.
Yeah, well, it's been really great to have you on.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
You as well? Yeah.
So, that's a wrap.